In a statement against student shortcuts, Villanova University administrators plan to stop selling Cliff's Notes at the school bookstore.
The once ubiquitous Cliff's Notes study guides and classic literature synopses got a bad rap over the years, as evidenced in this 1997 report on our very own Nebraska Nightly radio news program.
Cliff's Notes objected to the move with a letter to the student newspaper.
I admit I used them, and sometimes in place of the assigned books. Jim McKee was the advertising and sales manager for Cliff's Notes.
You know something? That may be one of the best things that ever happened, because as soon as you couldn't sell them in the bookstore, whoa, there's something we want.
Clifton and Catherine Hilligus founded Cliff's Notes in the late 50s. Cliff was the idea man and knew the right people all over the country through his full-time job at Nebraska Book Company. Kathy was the one running the business in the basement of their Lincoln home.
I always say that I was the first employee because I helped stuff the envelopes for the first mailing, and I think I was 11 years old.
Linda Hilligus is Cliff and Kathy's daughter. She told me about her father's friend who owned a bookstore chain in Canada and published Cole's Notes.
They had 16 Shakespearean titles, and he wanted to sell the U.S. rights, and Dad said yes.
Cliff borrowed $4,000 and set up shop. At the beginning, Cliff's Notes was truly a family affair. Linda was packing orders while her brother drove them to the post office.
At one point, Cliff's Notes was considered to be one of the top 2 most recognizable logos in the world. Hard to believe, and maybe it wasn't true.
I like including a curious legend in a story, and Jim's point is made because those black and yellow stripes on those little books are instantly recognizable to people of a certain age. And as for me, I had no idea it all came from Nebraska.
What's the most studied book in high schools in the United States? Well, Hamlet, Macbeth were the big ones. But then along came Huckleberry Finn, Tale of Two Cities, Scarlet Letter.
While adding titles, a move out of the basement was imminent. Through Cliff's connections, he knew what books were in demand, and they hired university professors to write their study guides.
We always knew, let's face it, that students were reading them and they were not doing anything but reading them.
Cliff, however, was a great reader. He even served as the Rising City town librarian at age 16.
He was always reading something, and he truly did not think that it was appropriate for people to use it instead of the book.
The Hilligus family was also charitable. There's a statue of Cliff in the Museum of Nebraska Art Sculpture Garden in Kearney.
He had very strong affiliations with artistic and cultural things. Dad always thought you should give your money where you earned your money.
Ken Price is the Hilligus University Professor of American Literature at UNL, as well as co-director of the Walt Whitman Archive, bringing it all back to Cliff's love of literature.
I think he wanted to increase the visibility of the university and the English department and promote the state. It's led to a project that has a high degree of national and international visibility.
Ken saw Cliff's Notes around campus when he started teaching in the 80s. But times have changed.
Students can access that kind of supporting material from going online on their computer, and it's easier and free.
Cliff sold the company in 1998 and died in 2001. Kathy passed in 2014. And in 2026, Linda and Jim are a Nebraska power couple.
Even though Cliff's Notes is essentially gone, you still hear the phrase, the Cliff's Notes version. Don't tell me the whole thing, just give me the Cliff's Notes version. 50 years after I'm dead, when nobody knows what Cliff's Notes were, it'll be the Cliff's Notes version.
There you go. That was the Cliff's Notes version of the Cliff's Notes story. I'm Andy Herman for Curious Nebraska.